going on? My name's Evan Leahy, and the place you see behind me is called the Village Green Records. It's right here in Muncie, Indiana, and it's a great place to go to get some exposure to some not so mainstream music. If you're tired of the stuff you walk into Walmart every day and see, then this is a great place to go because they have stuff that not everyone knows about, stuff you can expose others to, and if you want to get a taste for the local side of music in Muncie, then this is a great place. If you're in a band, or if you just want to hear about more bands, you can either sell your music here or buy their music here. So, I check it out.
We are now on the inside of the Village Green Records, and it is extremely inviting and warm in here. The hours of the store are Monday through Sunday, 12 to 8, or as long as the music's playing outside, they are open. If you are in a band and you want to send them your CD, they will play it in the store or consider you for a concert. Jared is the one who opened the place. He wanted a place to have music, so he came to this house and said that he would give some money if he could rent the house, and he relocated to Bloomington, Indiana.
I'm here with Travis Harvey, and he has been the past owner of Village Green Records for the past 3 years. We're going to get a little bit of background on this place. So when did this place open?
Well, the Village Green Records store has been open for about more than 5 years, and the store was opened through a friend of mine who previously had sold CDs and everything at record shows and other kind of like concerts out of the back of his car. And so he was from Taylor University, and he wanted the opportunity to have a a good kind of foundation as a record store. So about 5 years ago, or a little bit more than 5 years ago, this place started.
The first time I ever came here, I was over at the White Rabbit Books with my parents, just coming up here for a college visit, and I heard some music from behind like the main street. And I came around the corner, and I see this little, little green house playing music, and I'm like, it's pretty cool. And it's a record store, so music fan. And I walk in, and the guy straight away starts talking to me, so I get a nice mom and pop kind of feel, rather than just a generic, stuck up coming up to you asking, can I help you? And I tell him some of my musical tastes, and then he hands me a Bauhaus record. They're like the first goth band, and I'd always wanted to hear them, and I could never actually find any of the records, but luckily they had a few copies of them here. So I thank him for finally giving me some exposure to that. And then the second time I ever came back here was once I was a student here, about sometime in August. He had at least I hope, he had remembered me, he said he did, that he had sold me the record, and we talked some more about just random stuff, and then just about life and why he founded it here. I was with a couple other friends that like the stuff here too, so they were all talking as well. It's a great place to hang out, and it's pretty sweet.
So what were the motives behind opening this store?
Well, Jared was a close friend of mine, and I know that not only was it a motive at the time period, but it's kind of like one of the overall philosophies of the record store, or the ideals why we run the record store. And these are also still alive and true today, are just these ideas of like being able to offer somebody something different, to bring something a little bit more cultured to the community, and to allow people that are already looking for something a place to find it, but at the same time, and probably more importantly, at least in my role, is to turn people on to new things in general.
Alright, I'm here with Ross at the Village Green Records. I'm going to ask him a few questions about the store. How long have you been coming to the store to hang out or shop around?
I popped in around like April or so, and since then, really.
Okay. And what is it that you like about hanging out here, the music that's played here?
Pretty much, like, I knew Travis before when I was a freshman, and he came back to Muncie, and I rolled in and I was like, I asked if he had a certain album, and he's like, oh, I don't have it right now, but then he suggests all these others, and I've just kind of been showing up since. He just kept suggesting things, and I keep buying. That's kind of how it's been working.
Very cool. What's some of the favorite albums that are here that he suggested or that you found?
Preview 73 is probably the top one. I've been in electronic music a lot lately, so a lot of it's kind of catered to the more electronic scene, like DJ Shadow, or Justice, or Vex, or The Knife, to get a little bit more odd. A couple bands you haven't checked out, that was The Battles and Menomina.
A lot of the music I carry from a very diverse and vast eclectic mix of styles is all stuff that I think is driven by this idea of like sharing music and sharing something that's a little bit more innate to the heart and soul. And that can span so many different styles of music. I mean, in the CD and vinyl format, which is commonly what we carry most of, you'll find everything from old school hip hop to underground hip hop today, to electronic and dance music, to funk and soul, to hardcore punk, different types of metal from death metal to black metal. You'll find also different types of electronic music from what's going on maybe in the underground of London, for instance, like dubstep or wonk-hop or any of these other numbers of genres that I don't expect the people that come in the store to be initially familiar with, and that's kind of the point, because I just want them to feel like they're comfortable to say, hey, this is kind of what I'm looking for, and I'll be able to sort of cater to that and kind of tailor a few more things to that.
Are most of your customers, you'd say, Ball State students?
I think consistently they are, but that's a hard thing to kind of gauge, because we do get a large clientele of just, you know, townies or people that are, of course, a younger age, but that maybe don't go to Ball State. But I also get a lot of people too that are older, you know, just hardline fans of music. I have a core group of maybe 50, 60, 70-year-old men and women that come in here probably every other week or so and have me order stuff for them, and they're very open. What
about those concerts that you hold? How often do those go on, and who are normally the performers at those?
Well, the Village Green Record Store has been a platform for shows ever since the start of the business, and we've been kind of pushed into an odd position in the market because there really isn't any all-ages venues in Muncie anymore, or at least if there are, it costs bands money to rent out the space. And so we offer something very different for most of the artists in the town. This has especially become a recent kind of common problem of the community, is there's no other places to play. So that means a lot of our shows, we've grown more and more in our show like circuit, I guess you could call it. So over the summertime we had a ton of different shows, and we hold 2 major shows like throughout the year as well, the National Record Store Day show and then a back to school show. And of course all of our shows are free for, you know, all ages.
Okay. I heard about you showing videos. What's that all about?
I started a program called the Muncie Co-op also about 5 years ago, and this all came after I came back to Muncie. And it was sort of like this kind of guerrilla kind of graffiti thing, but it was taking the things a step further where it was interactive, and there was we made it so it was all these opportunities for people within the community to kind of take part in any things. And so this whole sort of guerrilla thing sort of led on to the film series, which has now become something that's part of the record store in a way. But I do the film series on campus, and what it is like the music I carry, it's also stuff that's like documentary, foreign, maybe kind of cult classics, things that are all overlooked, but very influential and important.
Where do you play those at? You said on campus?
Yeah, those are on campus in the David Letterman building.
Oh, okay.
Well, a lot of the music that I carry, as I said before, is sort of hand-picked by myself. So when it comes to like the new inventory, most of that is ordered through distributors, and I go as direct as I can, meaning that I try to get it directly from the record labels themselves. And by doing that, it makes it cheaper. So like, once again, that kind of goes back to how we have really good prices. But it's really important that what we carry is very special and kind of characteristic of the store. A lot of record stores, you know, they just kind of maybe get a template of, these are the things you need to buy because that comes out that week, or those are what people want. And then they just do that, or they, you know, someone brings in a lot of used records and they just buy up the whole batch. And like, I'm kind of picky, and I prefer just to know what I'm getting in store as opposed to just like grabbing anything or whatever. So again, it's having that kind of personal touch that's really important to the store.
So if you're interested in music, come check it out.